Alrighty, another day, another Monday, and we are off. Yeah, did not get a whole lot of recovery this weekend in terms of just like mentally. We're off the cut now, so we're sitting at a maintenance. All of my glycogen and water is back in the system, so we're up quite a few pounds just eating at maintenance calories. So got real fucking pumped during the workout today. Real pumped up. Felt like I had muscles that looked like they were about double in size. So that was at least a good bright side of that. But tons of homework over the weekend. Finished like 3 things of homework, 3 quizzes. Just did like 3 more things. Finished an entire project management certification from Google in 5 days. So and then all my normal work on top of that, all my Power and Grace stuff, all athlete check-ins, all that jazz. So, really burnt the fucking candle at both ends, the sides, right in the middle. Burn it as much as we could on every end, and I am feeling it. Also, from making it through the cut for that prolonged period was really riding fucking high on stimulants. So now that we're at a maintenance, have cut back that extreme level of stimulants, and I can feel that it was not my body giving me all the energy I had, because now currently on this maintenance, I have much less energy than I did on the cut, and we had gotten into a pretty deep cut there for quite some time. So it's going to take a while to get that energy back, and then basically about that time it'll be powerlifting meet competition and then go from there. So really looking forward to having that energy back, having this lethargy gone, and without the need of an extreme level of stimulants. And now, on the topic of getting stimulated, post for today is what we're going to talk about, just a little bit longer form, is all about the use of adrenaline, getting pumped up during your workout. So, the classic is you've just got whatever your song of choice is. You've got your fucking heavy ass EDM house. You've got your screamo. You've got your heavy metal. You've got whatever it is blaring in your ears. You are on a fucking riot. You are on a roll, screaming your heart out for your entire session. That's kind of the classic. And that works. However, at the end of your workout, you are burnt the fuck out. You are lethargic. The rest of your day, you have just fucking crashed. You need a nap because you have used every single ounce of adrenaline, every single ounce of energy that your body had. And probably towards the end of the workout, you weren't really having much in the tank. Like if you're a bodybuilder, typically like that's when you're on to calves and abs and shit like that. And then everyone skips out on their accessories because, hell, one, no one wants to spend time doing calves and abs. They just say, oh, I don't want to do that, and then blame it on genetics for why they don't have any. But then also, you have just used so much of your adrenaline the entire time. So we really need to not prioritize, but be smart about our use of adrenaline. Adrenaline, especially like in the Olympic weightlifting context, we need that for our 6 total attempts on the platform. We need every single ounce of adrenaline possible to be on the platform. We don't want to burn out fucking attempt number 1 or even during our warm-ups trying to hit it over and over and over because we're missing in the back room, and then hop out to the platform and we are just fucking smoked. There's nothing left in the tank. Like if we have a very, very heavy, very struggle bus of a snatch session, you go on a clean and jerk, you bomb out clean and jerks because you just got nothing fucking left. Same idea in training. You just blare that fucking heavy metal ass shit. I'm not saying shit because that's actually what I enjoy. You blare that 100% of the workout midway through, you're fucking toasted. we look at this little inverted U curve. So it's the inverted U arousal stimuli, whatever the fuck the graph is called, curve. We look at that. There's two ends. So an inverted U gonna look like that. So we got two ends that are on the lower side. At the very left end, there is zero arousal, and as a result, you are going to underperform because there is not enough arousal, there is not enough stimulation. We look at the far right end of the curve, there is not going to be a high level of performance because we are over-aroused. There is now too much stimulation that we can now not perform to the level that we need to. Now, we look at this little inverted U right there in the middle, right at our peak of maximum performance. That is going to be right at that optimal level of stimulation. So there is going to be a point where too little arousal, too little stimulation is not good. Obviously, if we have no adrenaline in our system, well, we're not going to perform very well because we're not very aroused. We don't have much going on. If we have way too much adrenaline in our system where our hands are fucking shaky and we can't even grip a barbell, obviously that is not the case. So look like fucking nose torque, ammonia nitrate, powerlifters use it all the time. Well, you're not putting a barbell over your head. There's a lot less technical demands. There's also a lot less, hey, if I move 1 millimeter this way, I could blow out my shoulder. Obviously, powerlifting with the load that it moves, pretty dangerous, relatively speaking. Not really dangerous in the grand scheme of things, but weightlifting, you need a little less heightened state of arousal to be able to perform the motor demands that you're being asked. So, along that line, we want to be right at the tip top of that curve at that optimal arousal, optimal performance level for the max amount of time that we can. Now, if we start our workout and we're already at maximal level arousal, we're already 400 milligrams of caffeine deep, we got the music blaring, we're already screaming, hyping each other up during the warm-up, you're gonna go from that optimal performance arousal state way over to the right side where you're over-aroused very, very quickly. So very quickly, you are now way over-aroused, and now you've spent so much time in that over-arousal zone, you are burnt out and you fall all the way to the left side where you're under-aroused because you just got nothing left in the tank to give. So we go in, we're blaring our music, we are hyped to the fucking bone. Yeah, you're gonna feel great for your first exercise. But then we fall all the way so far right on the curve that we actually end up on the left of the curve. So we get so over-aroused, we now have no more arousal in our system to give. We are burnt out and we end up on the left side where we are so under-aroused that performance has decreased as a result. Performance has decreased on either end, but again, if we're going so fucking over it on the start of our workout, we're gonna fall onto that left side. Big premise here is we need to then manage our arousal. We need to manage that stimulation. And we do that, I recommend doing that by playing a little fucking Bob Marley in between your sets. Like, there is no reason that you need to be aroused, no reason that you need to be blaring whatever fucking music gets you hyped during your sets. In between your sets is your rest period. During your rest period, the goal is to fucking rest and recover. And if we are just as aroused in between each set as we are during the set, no recovery is going on. No repletion. Yeah, opposite of depletion is to replete, I think. Sure, we're going to go with it. You're not going to replete any of your stores of energy, of adrenaline, of creatine phosphate, any of that jazz, unless we can actually get a little parasympathetic, get a little recovery. So sympathetic meaning or into that arousal zone, that fight or flight, parasympathetic, not aroused, under aroused, into that rest, digest sort of zone. We need to spend our rest periods bringing ourselves back down. If we are always aroused, then that is just our normal state. And if that is our normal state, then we're not aroused and we're not going to be on that higher end of performance. If we are always just in a fuck it, we're going ham zone, well, then you're really never going ham because that's just kind of your baseline. So if we want to be able to actually get high, get aroused, We need to then start from a baseline. We need to get low. You cannot get high. You cannot get aroused unless you are then relaxed and you are low. In order to get high, we have to be low. We peaks and valleys. If we're always up here, we can't get up here because we're already maxed out all the time. If we, like here to here, you're not getting much more arousal. You're not getting much more increase in performance because that's where you're always at. Like, you're never going to see an increase. If we're spending most of our training right here and then boom, we're stepping on the platform, we can bring it up here, you've just unlocked another fucking level. And your performance now is going to be so much higher because you know how to effectively utilize the storage you have. It's like, if you are always running on 800 milligrams of caffeine a day, over time you need more and more caffeine to get the same buzz, to get the same energy, because your body adapts to it. If you go a whole training cycle with no caffeine and you save the caffeine for game day, you're jumping off the fucking walls because there is just now, your body is so unaccustomed to that stimulus that it is now, boom, primed. It is in a great state to just fucking utilize every single thing it's got. So same idea. If we are just always at that peak arousal state into that overperformance zone, we can't get aroused. We can't then increase our performance because there's nowhere to go. If you're already at the top, there is no more top to get to. You have to, again, bring yourself down in order to bring yourself up. So like literally, when I was still competing in weightlifting and it was like a big old max out day, I would turn on my fucking music, blare it up as high as I could. Man of the Year, Dance Gavin Dance, the Tree City Sessions 2 version is my go-to song of choice, still to this day, has been for a couple years. It's a banger, big fan. It's got a nice little build-up, nice crescendo, and then boom, fucking aggressive. So it has like literally the same idea. So I'm spending my warm-up period riding that crescendo, riding that wave up, and the second it bursts out, it's like, boom, let's fucking go. I am ready. Blaring that music, riding that crescendo, getting up as high as we can. The second I'm done with the lift, music stops, music goes all the way down volume to like barely audible, turn on some Bob Marley. I would go in a different room, put a towel over my eyes to then, again, continue to decrease the stimulation I'm getting, and breathe. Bring myself up from that so high zone, bring myself all the way down, start to recover, save some of that adrenaline so I have more energy to give for the rest of the workout. Again, if you are cranked the fuck up, you just can't be cranked up at your 100% for 2 hours straight. It's 100% for a reason. Like, if you are trying to run at 100% all the time, it's not how that works. Like, you cannot be 100% on 100% of the time. The math just doesn't add up. There's gonna be some times where you have to be a little bit lower so that you can perform a little bit higher. And yeah, that's really the deeper dive into the post that is scheduled to come out here in like 3 hours on Instagram. So if you like this video, obviously like it on Instagram, like it here on YouTube, share the Instagram, share the YouTube. It's also going up on TikTok, so like the TikTok, share the TikTok. Spread some love. Again, I am still enjoying kind of going on a rant. I do enjoy ranting, so that makes things a little bit easier. So yeah, play your music, get fucking hyped up, get fucking ready to go, do the shit, fucking perform, and then bring yourself back down. Again, in order to get high, in order to have that peak on our arousal stimulus curve, we need to be low. We need to then be in that under-aroused low performance, because like, you're resting. What the fuck do you need to perform? You don't need to be on that peak of arousal because you're not doing shit. You need to be peak sympathetic. You need to be peak of the bottom of the curve of so under-aroused that you're in a place where you can recover. And perfect timing, we are pulling into the garage right now. I say garage, but I don't park in the garage. We got a garage gym. I park in the driveway. But yeah, that is what we've got.